Welcome. And as we get started for the brand new season, 2020-2021, I wanted to share the stage that I've chosen. This is one of my platforms that I'm going to use for the start of the season. So this is my back deck. I have a few things on it, like the barbecue, which are a part of life, but I have these beautiful sliding doors that can work as mirrors. And I have my sandbox over here. So I have a little box that my husband made for me. And then all I have to do is pour a little bit of sand inside. And I can create the perfect platform for me to do a little sand dancing or do some step dancing from. I've got two lights here, which when it gets into the evening, the lights start to shine. And I have this beautiful opportunity to be on the stage. In my yard, I have a couple of other things that I like to play with. So if I turn the camera up the side of the yard, I have put lights all the way through the bushes, and they're just powered, solar powered, and I can create an atmosphere for me to perform around here. The other piece I have is my barbecue pit, my little fire pit, but I have these beautiful foundation rocks, and they make a great platform for performing too. My dancers that I've shown pictures of have come through that little archway you see over there from the field, and we've danced out the back. So that's a little bit of a highlight of what you're going to find as you go looking for your stage, which can be outside still, and we'll be able to explore in September. You see what you've got at your house, and I look forward to seeing the pictures, the photographs, the footage that you might take of what you're going to do with your project. Okay, get started. Thanks for joining. Hi, so now you're in my little favorite space to dance. This is my little sacred space here at the house. And I have set up a place where I have enough room to be able to move in and all my favorite things to work with. So I know you're not going to have that luxury at your house. You might be in the living room. You might be in your bedroom. However, you have the choice to determine how you can make that space work for you. So you might need to clean up some of your toys. You might need to put some of your favorite things into the closet. You might need to move your furniture around a little bit so you have a little bit more room. Maybe if the bed's in the middle, you want to move it to the side, and that would give you a little bit more space to dance in. If you're in your living room, you may have some carpet or something that might need to be rolled up when it's time for dance class. You just kind of look around and see what's going to work for you. It doesn't matter how big your space is, and it doesn't matter if things are in the way. When I practice at home, sometimes I'm in my living room and I'm going around the coffee table. And it's the same for me when I practice. So you find what works for you and then just set it up. Put the things that you don't need away and then bring out the things that you know you're going to be using for dance or have a special place for them. I'll talk about that in the next part. Okay, get started. Go see what you can find. What can you create? What is your space that you're going to work with? And it'll be your special spot. Okay. See you in the next video. Hi, now we're going to talk about the costume box. Some of you may already have a trunk or a box or something that your parents have helped you put in some outfits maybe that have wings or capes, maybe some special hats, maybe jewelry. Whatever you think is going to be important for you to dance, you can add that into your costume box. And it might be a trunk. Mine is a cabinet. I do have some costumes upstairs too, but in my cabinet is where I keep some of my special things. So I do have my tap shoes in here, and my jazz shoes are there too. But I also have some wings. These are my fairy wings. You probably didn't get to see these yet. This was supposed to be for our year-end show. I didn't get a chance to do that. But this
is my special set of wings. My cape has lights running through it. And I've used that out in the garden when it's getting dark, and I've been doing some dancing out that way. So that's one of my costume pieces. I also have in here some of my favorite scarves that I've painted. And you might have some scarves at your place that you might want to work with, because we'll definitely be dancing with scarves. So that would be something else I might have in my costume box. And this is one of my favorite things to play with. This is something I haven't been able to do for a little while. This, I'm hoping you can hear the sound. These are my belly dancing skirts. And these, when I put these on, I can make all kinds of great sounds, and I can add jewelry too that can give me a shimmering sound. So as you go about your house looking for what you have that you might want to dance in, and it could be Halloween costumes, could be princess or pirate, or can be hats, can be masks. There's just so many things that we get to wear and play with as dancers to create the kind of character that we want to put into a song or into a storyline that we want to tell. So this is our time to find those special pieces that you go, yeah, I really like to move with that piece. I know that playing with these and making sounds is one of my favorite. So I'm going to leave it to you to make your costume box. You put in what you think you want to work with, and then we're going to dive into some other ideas too. Okay, see you in the next video. Okay, this video is about props. One of the fun things about being a dancer is you can dance by yourself, but you can also dance with a prop to help you tell about the character that you are, or to help emphasize the kind of movement that you want to make. And by having people follow that prop, it brings them to life in a different way. For those of you that have danced with me for a long time, you've known about all the boxes that I have always had in the studio that line the walls with the creative ways of dancing. My attic is now full of all those same things, but I'm just going to highlight a couple of pieces that I keep here in my space. So if I go to my cupboard, this was a birthday gift in May that a friend passed to me, and these little wands are like poi balls that you would get in Hawaii, and you would spin the poi ball around and try not to hit them, and you can make some really cool patterns. What these ones do is they light up with different colors, and again, I can do that, but I can also make different kinds of shapes with it. So these are going to be in my prop box of things that I can celebrate. The other that I have here that I really enjoy dancing with is my fan. Now this one we used a couple years ago when I built the wishing jar dance. And we will explore that again as well, but you can do so much with fans, and these are really fun because when you open them, they make such a great sound. So that might be something that you've got at your house that you can put in your box. Okay, now I did a workshop for dancers and teachers that was an online retreat a couple weeks ago. And one of the projects at lunchtime was to make your own box of things. So I got my 5-element bag, which you've seen from my different dance classes, and I put in here all kinds of different things that I might want to play with. One is I have a special book for me to write my ideas about how I want to explore dance and maybe some choreography ideas. So I have that, but I also have pencil crayons because sometimes I want to draw out or color the set, and I want to emphasize the way I want something to look. So I put those in my bag. I also put in here one of my favorite things to play with, bubbles. I used to have a bubble machine that I would put in the dance studio, and we would dance with the bubbles, and we make all kinds of shapes and follow the bubbles and chase the bubbles. So you might want to add bubbles as one of your props. They're a little bit tricky to work with, but they're fun when you figure out how you can make them work. So that would be something else. I also have a lot of rocks on the side in my windowsill that you can see. I have lots of treasures from dancers as well. I'm just going to put my hands down into a bowl that I have on the side. And this is full of all kinds of rocks. Some of them have sayings on them that have been hand painted. And some of them are just rocks that I found at the ocean, out on a walk in my backyard. I have all kinds of different kinds of little gems. These are fantastic to dance with, but also to lay around on your stage. So you might want to start thinking about some of the treasures you may have found while you were at the beach this summer, or while you were visiting friends. Maybe you brought back something of interest that way. So those are some of the things that I keep in my bowl along the side. And then other little pieces that I like to keep out at all times. You can see here, you've got the happy drum, which many of you will have seen before. So sometimes I want to play with the happy drum because it helps me to feel better. It also helps me set up some rhythms I might do with my feet. And then I have some drums. So you might have drums at your house, and you might be able to bring out some of the drums that are a possibility for you. Okay, I'm just going to bring this around. See out the doors to my deck, which I showed you in the last video. So on a really good day, I can open up the doors and I actually can walk out onto my stage and be in the great outdoors if I want, or I can come back inside. So that's some of the ways that I play here. Now it's your chance. Go check out some of the things that you might have for props that you'd like to be playing with and choreographing with. And for those of you that did the dance class with me in the spring, when we first started quarantine, we had some fun with vacuum cleaners. And it's going to be one of my favorite stories of all time. And that scavenger hunt we did to look for different pieces and the ingenuity of bringing the vacuum cleaner into a dance class, that was pretty cool. So it's up to you. Go see what you can find and then put those props maybe in your costume box, or maybe you're going to have a special spot that you just keep your props. And then we'll be able to play with them more as we get started. Okay. Have fun looking for what you've got at your house. Okay, now it's time to talk about music. So, in order for us to get started, you have to have some favorite pieces. When I'm teaching dance online, I don't have the rights to the music that I might want to play for a choreography. That belongs to the musician. And that belongs to the bands. And as much as I would love to be supporting them by playing their music, I can't do that. So what I'm going to do is suggest you make up your playlist. I will suggest rhythms and patterns. I will definitely share my favorite pieces and talk about them. And then it'll be up to you to decide how you want to explore what we're working with, and maybe rhythms that you want to work with, or a feel. But you want to check out how to make your playlist yours. And I know you're going to have lots of great ideas for that. So I have two ways that I like to work. So one is, you've seen my tablet in dance class. And my tablet, I usually work with Spotify. I have also worked with iTunes. And I have a lot of music that I've saved over the years because I've been compiling for different shows and things. So I have some different playlists for what I want to work with. And you can find some of my playlists on Spotify. You can look them up, but best will be just go and find the music that you love. And the other one that some of you have experienced before is this little gem. And this is my Music of the Plants. And it's a synthesizer that allows me to hook up to the plants in my house and take the electricity from the plant and put it in through this box. And then I can have my plants singing for me. So I have done a little bit over the last couple of months with parsley and oregano and aloe vera, and what else have I had? Geraniums. I have loved playing the music and then dancing to that, and it's wonderful in the garden too. I know not everybody has that opportunity, but I will be able to use that in class because I don't have to worry about copyrights there. Okay, so your job now is to figure out what kind of playlist, and even if you only get a couple of songs onto it, pick your favorites, that's good, and some different time signatures. So maybe some slow music, some fast music, some that count to 4, some that maybe are like a jig, buffalo, 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 buffalo. That's how we sometimes count the jig. Just find some different things that give you different feels. Maybe some will have drums in it, some will have maracas, more background instruments. Maybe some is just guitar. Maybe some has no singing, some has lyrics on it that you can interpret. Okay, that's your little objective for the next bit. I look forward to hearing what kind of playlists everybody has, and I'll try to compile a playlist based on what all of the students participating provide back to me so that I can try to provide some incentives as you go forward with that. Okay, have fun looking up your music. Hi, okay. You're at the end of this very first video, setting the stage for dance. And I thought I should just talk a little bit about the opportunities that you have in other areas of your life that might be able to influence your dancing and your choreography. So with all of the time that I've been in quarantine at home, which has been many weeks, we had a couple of weeks there where I couldn't travel at all through the summer. So I've spent a lot of time playing with my piano again. And I used to practice several hours a day when I was a teenager, and I adored classical music, and I found it again. So this summer I was able to get back to the piano. So I hope that if you have an instrument that you've been studying, you might start to think about how it might be a part of what you can create for yourself, because you'll be able to record your own music if you wanted. You could create a band at your house. Maybe you've got some friends that you want to gather together and you're going to create something and then record that and be able to dance and choreograph to it. That's another idea. So I just wanted to open up your mind that this year, we're just going to break out of all of the boundaries that the regular kind of ways of learning dance have been, because that's the way it's been. And we're going to just see how far can we take our imagination and our possibilities. Have fun thinking about the other skills you might have at your house that could influence your dance. And I look forward to seeing what you create. Take care.